Hello and welcome to our class, parenting class. This week, we are going to speak about affection. We started last week and we're continuing with affection. But before that, I want to dedicate that class for the Refuah Shelema Bekarov of Shira Yafa Bat Sarah, Yosef Ishai Ben Daniel Miriam, Yirmiyahu Ben Devorah, Idon Shalom Ben Sarah, all the wounded of Am Israel, all the sick of Am Israel, the protection of our soldiers, and Bezrat Hashem also for the freedom of our hostages, our chatufim. Okay, so this week we are going to speak about affection. We have two people participating. If you want to put your camera, you're welcome to do so. And if you would like to jump in and speak, with pleasure, okay? There we go. Okay. Sorry, just a second. There we go. Okay. So last week, we were speaking about what is love, right? We were speaking about what affection is according to the Torah. We were speaking about the importance and the vital needs of the human being to feel attached, to feel loved. We were saying also that it is part of our DNA to need that demonstration of affection. We cannot, as parents, think that our kids know that we love them just because they are our kids, even though obviously it is obvious that usually normal parents love their kids unconditionally, but human beings, we need demonstration of love. We need really like to feel loved and to feel closeness. And we were saying this is linked to the DNA of the human being, to the way HaKadosh Baruch Hu created human being, right? By being one, right, androgynous being, then separated, we have inside of our neshama, our needs, the strive for completion. We need that wholeness. We need to go back to that wholeness. So it's very important to understand that as parents, to understand that the child, when he was born totally dependent, because HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants the mother and the father to give him and give him and give him and create that bond, that very, very strong bond of ahava, love. Okay, so that's what we saw more or less last week. Now, we are going to speak about how do we demonstrate that love? How are we going to demonstrate that love? First of all, it's very interesting to get to that understanding that human beings are sensorial beings, right? HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave us 5 senses. Those 5 senses are here to connect us with our environment, with our environment, with our surroundings, correct? So what we have to do is use those senses in order to connect to that child, to connect to the other, right? As parents, it's very important to understand that those senses are connectors from one human being to another. And so we should use those 5 senses in order to create a relationship, to enhance the relationship and to nurture that relationship with our kids, okay? So let's see a little bit, what are those 5 senses? So first, you have the sight, right? Vanessa and Elisheva, would you like to speak up a little bit, or would you like just to listen? Let me know.
I could speak up if um you have something in specific you want me to
I'm going to ask
talk
you,
about.
according to you, how can we demonstrate through the sense of vision? Nice to see you.
Thank you. How can
Usual.
I demonstrate through my sense of vision? Oh, through the child's sense of vision. Um, I think that's probably one of the biggest ones because your child is constantly observing you and what you do. And I think it's a lot of pressure, but it's very important to be careful with how we behave, how we treat others, how we treat our belongings, because they absorb all of that.
I agree. That's the influence that you have through vision. But now we're speaking really about affection. How can you
How
demonstrate affection through the sense of vision? How can he see that you love him or her?
I
How is
think
your baby? How old are your children? You have one child,
he's 13 months.
13 months. So it's a little difficult, but
Yeah.
imagine you as a child. How would you see the love of your parents? How could you see it?
I think when they react to me um in a way that they're truly invested,
Mhm.
that would make me feel like they love and care about me as
True.
opposed to like they're, sometimes parents are kind of tired and they don't really have a big reaction to what you're doing. They're just kind of like
So already one thing
over
that
it.
seems to be what you're saying is eye to eye connection. That's already
Right.
like a way to show and demonstrate love.
Right.
Giving him your sight, your eyes, face to face, right? Being
Right.
able to really let him see you and let you see him. And in seeing, we're thinking also of let him let him grasp of you and be available for him to see you. Of course, it
Right.
requires time, as you said, right? Time is an important factor. We'll speak about that in the second part of the class. But yes, put yourself in the perspective of your child for you to tell him that you love him, for instance, right? So, for instance, when you have a toddler that is going to to be standing and running, maybe at 13 months he's just starting to stand.
He's running all over the place
Okay,
already.
no, Hashem, no, Hashem.
Profession.
You want to tell him, I love you, right? What are you going to do? You're going to bend down to his eyes and let him see you as you say, I love you.
Yeah.
Why? Because it's so important for that person, for that child to see. We are going to show and use his sense of vision in order to show him that we love him. So it could be also little signs like that when he grows up and he understands what it means. It can be writing to him when he understands what it means, right? It can be like at one point when even when they are grown up and they will have like a kosher phone and you can text them, you are the sunshine of my life. I love you so much, right? I miss you. How was your day? I love you. Okay. Writing for them to visualize.
Yeah.
Uh, it can be really like use imagination in order to use that sense of vision for him or for her to prove him, to demonstrate your love, right? Vanessa, I don't know if you're available to speak. Do you have any idea? I don't know if she can speak. Okay. So vision is a way that we can use in order to, and it's a very important, very, very important window to the neshama, the eyes. especially for men, but even for girls, right? But for men, we know that it is so important to be shomer and naim, right? To guard your eyes. Why? Because the eyes are the window to the neshama and to your thoughts and to your imagination. So you want them to see a loving face, a caring face, using the emotions that Akadosh Baruch Hu gave us of compassion, of happiness. Any emotion that we feel can be universally read, even by very little children, on our face. Why? Because Akadosh Baruch Hu wanted people to be able to understand each other, even if they didn't have that same language, right? So that's why when I'm happy, even as a little child, I don't need to be educated for that. I'm going to smile. If I'm sad, I'm going to do like that. You can read on my face all the 6 basic emotions. So use those to demonstrate your love. Be happy when he's happy. Show him with love and care in your face, right? That you're caring, that you have affection for him. That's the first sense. Then what other sense do we have? We have the olfactive, the smell, right? Sense. So how can we use the smell to demonstrate our love, our affection? If you want to speak Elisheva, you can. If you're busy, then I will give you some hints.
Hi, Esther. Sorry, I
No,
couldn't.
don't worry. Vanessa, you
Can
want
you
to
hear
jump
me?
in? You want to jump in? We were speaking
Yeah,
about
sure. You were saying about the smell.
exactly. So the smell. What does it?
So, I mean, smell. It can come from food,
Yeah, delicacy that you make
cooking.
to
It could.
love.
It's always for me at least. Making whatever types of food, whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner, for my family is showing them how I love them.
Definitely. Perfect.
Especially, when you make it beautiful, when you put effort, when you're not making it like it's like a corvée, like it's not,
Yes.
you're not
You're not
cooking
schlepping
because
in it.
you're forcing yourself to make food just to feed them.
So
No, when
food,
it's
I'm
more
going to
of a
stop
like,
you now on the food because the food, we're going to speak about it while we speak about test,
mhm, mhm.
the how do we say
Taste bud.
taste buds? Okay,
Taste?
we speak about
Yeah.
that. While we speak about taste, the sense of tasting. Okay, now more the smell. So it could be that we make a home through, yes, the smell of the food, definitely, the smell of the perfume of the mommy, right? For instance, the
Mhm.
mother who uses regularly the same perfume, even years after, when that child who is a grown-up, who's maybe himself a grandpa or whatever, will smell the perfume of his mother, it will take him back years before when he was a small child in the arms of his mom. So using the smell of a house, also like it could be that you use, I don't know, like a special scented candle. Recently, like a friend of mine gave me like this amber candle. I love amber. So I light it up and it smells to me like it smells like my grandma. I don't know why, like maybe she was like it smells something very, very homey, very reassuring. So we can definitely use the smell, the sense of smell, to create a demonstration of affection, right? This is very important because we are embedding the affection in the sense of smell, right? Then we have the sense of hearing, listening, hearing. Okay. So that, how can we demonstrate love through the sense of hearing? Vanessa, Lisheva, if you have any suggestion.
Uh, Speaking in a respectful way,
Yeah.
not, not raising your voice even when you're becoming impatient. So your child hears that even though you sound upset, you're still speaking to them or him or her in a nice way with a kind voice.
Exactly, it's true. So the tone of voice somehow conveys the intention behind and the emotion behind, right? That's true. Then what else? It's also saying it, saying I love you. Vanessa and I come from a French culture, right? Sephardi, Moroccan French culture. And in French, saying je t'aime, I love you, is not something very common in the past generations, at least. When you say I love you, je t'aime, to someone, it is creating a terrible vulnerability. Like you feel very vulnerable. Like it's something you don't say to everyone. It's something very, very deep and in which that person who says it puts it himself or herself in a vulnerable place. In English, I can say I love you to many people. Like I can say I love you to even like a friend over the phone. Oh, I love you. Bye. Right? So it's a different way to express yourself. So when you're going to say I love you in English to your kids, you will have to find a way for them to understand this is not just a regular I love you. This is an I love you that comes from the bottom of my heart. I love you just the way you are. I love you just the way you are. I love you. There is no one else but you. There is no one else like you. You're my unique David. You're my unique Elisheva, my unique Vanessa. I love you. I couldn't love any Vanessa more than I do with you. Hashem created you. You're unique. I love you so much unconditionally. There's nothing you will ever do or anything you would say that will make me love you less. I love you. This is grounding in the mind of the kid. I hear that my mom loves me, not just like a regular neighbor, a regular friend, someone I like, or someone she just appreciates. She loves me in a way that is not normal. It's not a normal situation. It's not a normal relationship. She loves me unconditionally. How many people would you give up your life for? Not so many. For your kids, for your husband. Yeah, your kids, you love them unconditionally. There's nothing that they will do in their life, not even a choice that they will make that will keep you from loving them. They have to hear it clearly in whichever language you say. But if it is in a language, if you are the type to use love you very easily, then when you speak with them, make it a big deal. It's not that I just love you. I love you. They have to hear it. You have to use the sound of hearing in order to comfort and to embed within them that certainty of love, unconditional love. There's nothing that will make them doubt that you love them. Okay? Then it can be also singing, because you can sing songs that will make them feel you love them, right? Those songs that you sing because you're happy, because this is a song that tells like a story about the two of you, because this is a song that when you share a happy moment, you sing together, right? So use that sense, auditory sense, hearing sense, in order to really put inside of them the certainty that you love them. Then we said there is sight, hear, smell, and now taste. So now, Vanessa, tell me about your food.
Um, this is one of my ways to show love and affection to whoever is around me and whoever I care about. So I love cooking, and I really put a lot of effort into it. And I try to make everything that I make very beautiful. So it's nice to the eyes, but it's also good to the taste. And yeah, my son loves my cooking, and I really do it. Whenever I feel like I don't want to cook, I don't, because if I don't want to do it, I'm tired, or it won't be as good because I'm just doing it to feed them. But I do it most of the time. I put a lot of effort into cooking, and I always try to, make home cooked meals, at least 3 meals a day for my family, which is a lot. Um, but I put a lot of love into it. That's one of my love languages.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. So yes, let's use the taste in order to show them that we love them. And also tell them, mommy made that just for you because I love you. I know that's your favorite. I know, for instance, I don't know, like if for Shabbat you're going to make meatballs or gefilte fish, whatever, but because you know that this child, he loves that more than anything. And you made another thing for the other child because you want to prove him through the taste. I know you love that chocolate cake so much. I made it for you. But you have to demonstrate, not just make the food and then tell them, when you taste that chocolate cake, you're going to feel my love because I put all my love in this challah, in this meatballs, in this gefilte fish, in this whatever it is that you made. I put my love. I made it thinking of you. Right? Okay. Then we said a very important one is the touch. That's our fifth sense, the touch. Touch is such a powerful sense that conveys love and affection, and even more, a deeper sense of affection and love, that between men and women, we don't touch. We are we keep the laws of being shomer negia. Why? Because there's a magic in the touch. There's something magic that we don't see, but that is really indisputable. I'm going to give you an example. I don't know if I gave it to you last week or not. I mentioned that in a class, but I don't remember which class. Maybe I'm gonna repeat myself. I'm sorry if that's the case. But there was an experience, a scientific experiment that was done in I think it was the MIT or Harvard. I think it's the MIT. They were studying the pain, and they were trying to find ways to reduce the pain, right? And so at one point they decide, some scientists decide to make an experiment. They're going to take a sample of people, submit them to a level of pain that is going to be recorded. Like they are in a booth, okay, very dark booth. They don't see anything. They are connected to electric sensors, and they're going to be sent some electrical charge. So they're going to feel pain. They are also being monitored to see the level of pain. Every time they receive an electrical charge, they feel the pain, and it's recorded. The second part of the experiment is that in that dark place, the second phase of the experiment is that they're going to be given a hand to hold, but they can't see the hand, and they can't see the person. It's behind the curtain, right? So they hold a hand but they don't know which hand it is. And it is a random person's hand. It's not someone that they know in that phase of the experiment. But even though they don't know that person, the fact to be able to hold someone's hand, they receive the same amount of electricity, but their level of pain has diminished. I'm not sure because my memory is not perfect, but I think it's about like 10 to 15% less pain for the same amount of electric charge. Okay? But then something else happens is that they are offered the hand of their beloved, right? But they don't know. They're not told, now you have to hold another hand. That's it. They don't know that it's the hand of their wife or their husband or right, whatever. And what happens? It drops to 20%. What does it prove scientifically? It proves scientifically that touch has a healing effect. Touch has a soothing effect. Touch is so magical that even during pain, and I don't know if you have ever given birth with pain, but it's so reassuring to be able to hold the hand of someone, right? When you're in pain, like even whether you're a child or not, or unless I am an older child, I don't know, but it feels good to hold somebody's hands when you know that you're going to be scared or when you're going to be suffering from something, right? Using the magic of touch in order to demonstrate your love is a great way to convince your child that you love him, to show your child that you love him or her. I'm going to give you an example. How can we touch our child to show the love? First, by being tactile. It doesn't come to everyone, but hi, my love, how are you? Morning kisses, right? And if you're not a morning kiss person, right, you can just like touch on the shoulder. Hi, my love, how are you? But touch him, touch her. Make her feel your presence. The child was once in your tummy, in your womb. It feels good to be touched by a parent like that, right? So put your hand while you speak. Hold the hand while you speak. Caress the hair, the cheek. You know, be tactile with your child and tell, and because it tells them that you love them, right? Now, also, another form of affection by touch could be massages, right? Massages, deep massages, and then soft massages. Deep massages are going to make the child feel himself and your presence, and then soft massages when they are older. One way I have to connect with my bigger boys is to scratch their back or their head when they go to bed. And sometimes it's late when they come back from yeshiva. It's a little late, but I feel that that's a moment of connection. And they give me their arms or their back or their head. I scratch and we speak, right? We speak with them and they get to speak and like pour their heart, you know? So it's a way to show them, I'm here for you. I am here. You can let go. Go for it. I love you, right? To demonstrate your love through scratching and massaging and touching them, right? So it's very important. Hugs, kisses, caresses, massages, just a hand on the shoulder, just a hand in a hand, just walking hand in hand, right? These are the five senses, and these are the best way for us to connect with our kids. This is what Akadosh Baruch Hu tells us. I gave you those five senses for you to be able to connect with your environment. Use them to show love to your kids, right? Now, we say there is a sixth sense, What is it? Thought, right? Thought meaning like, I think of you. I think of you. I think about your challenges. I think about how to make you happy. I think about you in the future. I think about, and you speak it after. You know, I thought of you a lot. And I remember you told me you have this friend who has this issue, da, da, da. What about this? And what about that? You make them understand that you think about them. You can even, when they are in age to read, right? You can write a little note in the lunchbox. Mommy thinks of you. When they don't know how to read yet, you can draw a little picture and write a heart. When they are in age to have a kosher phone, you can write them a little note, a little word. I am thinking of you and I love you, right? Think of them is also a way to demonstrate love, right? So today we're going to stop with that lesson. I am open for questions, open for comments. Next week we will speak more about the love languages and continue to learn from Rav Yechiel Yaakovson on how to raise our kids with love and affection according to Torah. Do you have any questions that you would like to ask or comments?
So far, I don't have any questions.
Okay, Elisheva. It was a pleasure to see you today, and I hope to see you soon, Bezrat Hashem. Tomorrow we're going to be in Surfside. I think you live in the surroundings. If you want to join, with pleasure tomorrow night.
Yes, I'm going to try to come. I hope I can